The message came at 8:17 p.m. A photo. Nothing else. I stared at it for a few seconds before opening it. A crowd. Lights. Music. People I didn't recognize, standing on the deck of a house I knew better than anyone. My house. The camera angle was careless. Whoever sent it didn't think I'd see it, or maybe they didn't care. I zoomed in. And there they were, my cousins, laughing, drinks in hand, standing exactly where my grandmother used to sit every summer evening. The caption finally came through. Beach house party tonight. I didn't react immediately, not because I wasn't angry, because I needed to understand. I checked the date, checked the time, checked the location tag. There was no mistake. They were inside my house. I hadn't been there in months. Work kept me away. Travel, meetings, things they always joked I was too busy for. But I never stopped keeping track of the house, of the ownership, of everything. Because while they saw it as family property, I saw it differently. I saw paperwork, signatures, years of quiet decisions, and a deed with only one name on it, mine. I didn't call them, didn't text, didn't warn. I just booked the next flight. The house was 3 hours away by air, 5 more by car. Plenty of time to think, but I didn't, because this wasn't confusion. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a decision, and so was mine. When I arrived, it was already dark, the kind of dark that makes lights look brighter than they are, and the house was glowing. Music echoed across the shoreline. Laughter carried through the air. Cars lined the driveway. People moved in and out like they owned the place. I stepped out of the car slowly, closed the door quietly, and just stood there for a moment, because sometimes you need to see something clearly before you change it. The front gate was open. Of course it was. I walked in. No one stopped me. No one questioned me, because to them, I didn't belong there. I reached the main entrance. The door was wide open, lights pouring out, music louder now. And inside, everything had changed. Furniture moved, decor replaced, personal things gone. I walked into the living room and saw it. A pile of boxes, stacked near the garage door. Careless, unlabeled. My things, clothes, books, old photos, everything that made the house mine, reduced to storage. "Hey," a voice said behind me. I turned. One of my cousins stood there, drink in hand, expression already annoyed. "You're early," he said. "Early. For what?" I asked calmly. He smirked. "The party." I looked around, then back at him. "My things are in the garage," I said. "Yeah," he replied casually. "We needed space." Space. For who? He gestured toward the crowd, the actual guests. I nodded slowly. "And I'm not a guest?" I asked. He laughed. "You?" he said. "You live here like it's yours." I didn't respond, because technically, I did. "You should have told us you were coming," he added. "We could have helped you find a hotel." "A hotel? In my own house?" He shrugged. "Come on," he said. "Don't make it weird. This place is for family." I looked at him, carefully, because that word meant something very different to me. "You don't fit the vibe tonight anyway." The music got louder. People laughed. Someone shouted from the kitchen. And for a moment, it felt exactly like they believed it, that I didn't belong, that this was theirs, that nothing would change. I checked the time. 11:43 p.m. "Not yet." "Enjoy the party," I said. He smiled, satisfied. "Relax," he added. "It's just one night." I nodded. "Yes," I said. It was, and it was about to end. By 11:59 p.m., nothing had changed. The music was louder. The crowd had grown. People were dancing on the deck, drinks spilling, laughter echoing into the night like they owned the ocean itself. I stood near the edge of the room, quiet, still, watching, because moments like this aren't about reacting. They're about timing. 11:59 p.m. Someone bumped into me, didn't apologize, didn't even look back. Of course they didn't. To them, I was just another person in the background, exactly where they thought I belonged. 12 p.m. The music didn't stop. The laughter didn't fade. Nothing dramatic happened. At first, then the front door opened. Not loudly, not aggressively, just deliberately. And then they walked in. 3 people, dressed simply, professional, calm, private security. They didn't rush, didn't raise their voices, didn't need to, because authority doesn't announce itself, it enters. At first, no one noticed. Then someone near the entrance paused, turned, confused. Can I help you?" someone asked. The lead guard didn't answer immediately. He scanned the room, then looked directly at me, and nodded. That was enough, because now everything shifted. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said calmly, his voice cutting through the noise without force, "this property is now closed to all unauthorized guests." The music faltered, not stopped, just hesitated. "What?" someone laughed. "Is this a joke?" My cousin stepped forward, still holding his drink, still smiling. "You've got the wrong place," he said. "This is private property." The guard looked at him, then back at me. "No," he replied calmly. "This is exactly the right place." Silence spread. Slow, uncomfortable. "Who called you?" my cousin asked. I stepped forward, just one step. I did. The room shifted instantly, not loudly, but completely, because now they were looking at me differently. "What are you talking about?" he said. I held his gaze, calm, clear. "This house isn't unclaimed," I said. A pause. "It hasn't been for a long time." Confusion flickered across his face, then disbelief. "Stop joking," he said. I didn't smile. "I'm not." The guard stepped slightly forward, professional, neutral. "We have documentation. This property is privately owned. You are all required to leave." The words landed heavier this time, because now this wasn't a moment. This was reality. My cousin laughed again, but this time it didn't sound the same. "You're serious?" he asked. "Yes." Another silence, longer, deeper. "Since when?" he said. "Years," I replied. That was the part they couldn't process, not the ownership, the time, because while they were assuming, I was deciding. "Everyone needs to exit the property," the guard said again. This time, people moved. Slowly at first, then faster, because confidence disappears quickly when it meets something real. The music stopped completely. The lights felt harsher. Voices dropped. People grabbed their things, avoided eye contact, left quietly, because no one wants to stay where they don't belong. My cousin stood still. For a moment, it looked like he might argue. Then he looked around, at the emptying room, at the guards, at me, and finally, he understood. "You threw my stuff in the garage," I said calmly. He didn't respond. "Next time," I added, "ask before you move things that aren't yours." No anger, no raised voice, just truth, because the strongest moments don't need noise. He walked past me, no apology, no excuse, just quiet. The last person left at 12:23 p.m. The door closed, and just like that, the house was still again, the same way I remembered it. I walked through the room slowly, moved a chair back into place, adjusted a table. Small things, but they mattered, because this wasn't just a house, it was something they never understood. Ownership isn't about who shows up, it's about who took the time to make it theirs. I stepped out onto the deck. The ocean was quiet, calm, unbothered, like none of it had happened. I checked the time, 12:31 p.m., less than an hour. That's all it took. They took my place, but they forgot one thing. They never checked who signed the deed.